She felt invisible in a luxury jewelry store, her white linen dress seemingly overshadowed by the opulence around her. Simple sandals, a natural look, and no luxury handbag. To them, she was more than just a customer. She was deeply misunderstood. "Observe her closely," one clerk murmured. "That kind doesn't come to purchase. She arrives with the intent to take away." All she longed for was to catch a glimpse of a necklace. What she received instead were harsh words, disapproving glances, and overt shame. After 30 minutes, the luxurious Rolls-Royce of her billionaire husband pulled up. De la Lumière sparkled with an enchanting brilliance on Rodeo Drive. The marble floors gleamed like a reflective surface, while the crystal chandeliers scattered light into beautiful patterns across the velvet-lined displays. The boutique was a sanctuary of opulence, where diamond tiaras and sapphire rings softly spoke of affluence to a gathering of celebrities, tycoons, and royalty. At its core, illuminated by a gentle glow, rested the store's treasure, a pink diamond necklace, its 18-carat centerpiece surrounded by pristine white diamonds worth $12 million. De la Lumière was more than just a store. It served as a guardian of prestige, where access required a specific appearance, high-end brands, extravagant adornments, and the fragrance of inherited wealth. Outside, valets orchestrated a procession of Bentleys and Lamborghinis, while the boutique's Instagram, boasting 1 million followers, displayed clients enveloped in opulence. In this realm, the value of one's exterior held immense power, and the verdicts came down with astonishing speed. Claire Monroe stepped through the glass doors, her white linen dress dancing gently in the soft breeze, her sandals softly caressing the marble beneath her feet. At 36, she exuded a captivating charm in her simplicity, with clear grey eyes, blonde hair neatly tied back in a bun, and a face free of makeup, yet glowing with a serene assurance. Her canvas tote cradled a notebook, a pen, and a cherished photo of her and her husband Blake, joyfully laughing on their wedding day. Claire, once a dedicated non-profit director, chose to step back and immerse herself in philanthropy. Her substantial wealth, intricately linked to Blake's e-commerce empire, remained a closely guarded secret, a testament to her desire for privacy. Today, she arrived at De la Lumière to admire the pink diamond necklace, yearning to purchase it as a heartfelt 10th anniversary gift for Blake, representing the beautiful path they had walked together. She had nothing to prove. She simply yearned to experience the heaviness of the diamonds resting in her palms. The boutique exuded a serene atmosphere, with only the gentle strains of classical music and the soft whispers of a few clients, women adorned in elegant Chanel dresses and men in tailored suits. Claire approached the central display, her eyes captivated by the necklace's gentle radiance. The saleswoman, Vanessa Holt, stood behind the case, her black dress elegantly accentuating her figure, her blonde hair neatly styled in a severe updo. Her gaze swept over Claire's outfit, pausing on the tote, and her smile carried a hint of condescension. "May I assist you in any way?" she asked, her tone heavy with unspoken disappointment. Claire's lips formed a soft, tender smile. "I'd like to see the pink diamond necklace, please," she said, her voice filled with a gentle warmth. Vanessa's smile faltered, her eyes lingering on Claire's sandals with a mix of emotions. "That's a showcase piece," she said, her voice carrying with a weight that drew attention, meant for clients of a certain stature, not merely for those passing by. Claire's fingers gently grazed her tote, yet she maintained her poise. She spoke gently, her voice filled with warmth and understanding. "I would still love to experience it. I have the means to do so." Vanessa's laugh was piercing, a sound that captured the attention of her colleagues. "Are you aware of the price involved?" Her voice rang out, echoing through the boutique with a poignant intensity. "Hoc ban chi dende de tan hung kong ki mat mare." A nearby client, a woman in a fur-trimmed coat named Diana Voss, chuckled softly, whispering to herself, "She must think this is a thrift store." Her companion, a man in a Brioni suit, wore a smirk, his cufflinks shimmering softly. "Không có cuộc hẹn nào sao?" With a gentle intensity, he whispered, ensuring that Claire could catch every word. The atmosphere of the boutique changed, all gazes drawn to the woman who seemed out of place. As Claire stood by the necklace's display, hoping to draw Vanessa's gaze, a group of distinguished clients gathered nearby, their designer bags shimmering beautifully under the chandeliers. Diana Voss and her group candidly examined Claire's appearance. "Look at her dress," Diana said loudly, her voice filled with a heavy sense of disdain. "Did she come in from a farmer's market, bringing with her the essence of the earth and the warmth of community?" The group shared joyful laughter, their diamond earrings sparkling as they captured moments of Claire, sending the photos to a private group chat named De La Lumière VIPs. One client, a tech heiress named Lauren Tate, remarked, "Bet she's here to scope things out, keep an eye on her bag." The taunts became increasingly harsh as Diana threw a coin at Claire's feet, a smirk on her face, mocking her for the fare to get home. The boutique's other patrons joined in, their laughter ringing out with a harshness that pierced the air, while Vanessa and Ethan stood by, smirking, choosing to remain silent and unmoved. Claire's hands gripped her tote tightly, her grey eyes shimmering with unspoken sorrow, yet she remained silent. The photos circulated on the internet, labelled with the phrase, "Had boutique bum," each one a painful reminder of her dignity. Vanessa gently leaned toward her co-worker, Ethan Cole, a slender man meticulously polishing a tray of rings. "Watch over her," she murmured, her voice intentionally clear. "She has that expression, as if she's ready to engage you in conversation, all the while subtly tucking something away in her bag." Ethan nodded, his smile mirroring hers, and stepped closer, his gaze fixed on Claire's tote. The accusation lingered, a heavy mark upon the soul. Claire stood in stunned silence, her grey eyes unwavering, yet her heart pounded with emotion. She remained calm, her voice steady and soft. She turned, her sandals whispering against the ground, and walked toward the doors, feeling the heavy gaze of their stares upon her back. As Claire approached a side display seeking a moment of solitude to browse, the boutique's security guard, a stout man named Victor, suddenly blocked her way, his radio emitting a series of crackles. "Ma'am, I must take a look inside that bag," he said with a firm voice, echoing through the store. Claire stood still, her grey eyes filled with surprise, yet she composed herself and gently opened her tote, uncovering just her notebook and pen. Victor smiled softly, shaking his head with a hint of warmth. "Keep it where I can see it," he cautioned, his voice heavy with unspoken emotions. Clients nearby murmured softly, warning you of her trouble, their phones raised, capturing the moment. Vanessa leaned over to Ethan, whispering, "She's certainly plotting something, a timeless ploy to divert attention." The guard lingered, his presence a constant shadow, watching Claire's every move, his boots echoing softly on the marble. The shame weighed heavily, a poignant display of vulnerability. Yet Claire maintained her poise, her sandals whispering softly as she moved toward the exit. The video of Victor's confrontation spread across Twitter, tagged with the hashtag #ShopThief, each retweet serving as a public shaming. As Claire paused near the boutique's entrance, adjusting her tote, a group of clients inside caught sight of her lingering presence. Diana Voss, her fur coat shimmering with elegance, called out with warmth, "Still here, darling. The pawn shop's just down the street." Her group chuckled softly, their phones raised, capturing the moment as Diana playfully tossed a crumpled tissue at Claire's feet. "She scoffed at your tears." The other clients united in a heartfelt chant, "No diamonds, no diamonds," while Ethan wore a knowing smirk from behind the counter. Claire's jaw tightened, yet she grasped her tote, disregarding the tissue, her gaze unwaveringly set on the horizon. The video appeared on Instagram in mere minutes, titled "Rodeo Reject," quickly amassing 10,000 views, with every comment echoing, "Total loser." Send her away, a piercing blow to her silent resilience. The shame lingered long after crossing the threshold. Vanessa trailed behind Claire towards the exit, the sound of her heels echoing, and called out, "Don't return unless you have a genuine budget." The words resonated throughout the boutique, evoking smiles and laughter from both the staff and clients. Ethan gave a playful wave, calling out, "Maybe try a mall next time." A security guard stationed by the door let out a soft chuckle, his radio crackling as he quietly remarked, thought she'd grab and run. Claire's fingers clenched around her tote, yet she chose not to glance back. She stepped onto the sidewalk, her linen dress dancing with the gentle breeze, and reached for her phone. As Claire walked by the boutique's open backroom door on her way out, she caught a glimpse of Vanessa and Ethan leaning in close to a jeweler, their voices laced with a biting tone of ridicule. "Did you catch a glimpse of her tote?" Vanessa let out a disdainful laugh, carelessly throwing a cloth onto the counter, perhaps already filled with precious stolen earrings. Ethan chuckled softly, carefully arranging a tray of rings. She probably believed that De La Lumiere was just a bargain hunt. The jeweler, a stern woman named Carla, let out a soft, heartfelt chuckle. She doesn't belong here, likely searching for someone wealthy to marry. Their laughter echoed softly in the hallway, reaching Claire's ears as she gently adjusted her tote. A passing staffer caught a glimpse of her, then turned away, sharing in the unspoken understanding. The whispers circulated through the boutique's internal Slack channel, screenshots finding their way online, each taunt deepening the portrayal of Claire as a thief unworthy of their realm. Claire's jaw clenched, her grey eyes shimmering with hurt. Yet she continued forward, the staff's words a sharp wound to her pride. Outside, the Beverly Hills sun beat down fiercely, yet Claire walked with purpose, her grace unwavering. She remained silent, holding back her emotions. She dialed Blake, her voice gentle yet unwavering. She mentioned that they refused to reveal the necklace to her. "I'm doing fine. Just tell me when you arrive." Hours after Claire's departure, the De La Lumiere VEP's group chat, led by Diana Voss, shared a montage of her visit, capturing moments of her standing by the necklace, Victor checking her bag, and her quiet exit, all set to a playful pop song. The caption read, "Linen lady believed she could shop here, understand your position." The post, shared to Instagram stories, reached 30,000 views, accompanied by comments such as "thief in sandals" and "her tote's probably full of our diamonds." Lauren Tate, the tech heiress, shared a TikTok, weaving her own heartfelt commentary into the footage. "This is the reason we must enhance our security measures. People like her disrupt the atmosphere." The video circulated on YouTube, each share reopening a deep ache for Claire, who encountered it when a friend forwarded the link. At a nearby cafe waiting for Blake, she caught snippets of conversation from the boutique clients, their hushed tones revealing, "That's her, the one from the video." Their smirks pierced through the air, yet Claire held her coffee with unwavering grace, her grey eyes reflecting a quiet strength, concealing the tumultuous emotions swirling inside her. The digital onslaught was unyielding, a heart-wrenching dismantling of her very essence. On the other end, Blake's voice was a low growl, the kind that commanded attention and left an undeniable impact. "I'm on my way now," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "Hey, Olaido." Within De La Lumiere, the staff resumed their duties. The event now transformed into a heartfelt tale to recount. Vanessa adjusted her dress, a soft smile playing on her lips as she looked at Ethan. "Can you feel the intensity of her audacity?" Ethan smiled softly, gently wiping down a case. He remarked with a sense of certainty as he turned to help a new client, a pop star adorned in a dazzling sequined jumpsuit. Diana Voss shared a photo of her new emerald bracelet, captioning it, "De La Lumiere vibes, only the best belong." Nhưng bình luận tràn ngập lượt thích, không khí của cửa hàng vẫn nguyên vẹn, thu bạc vẫn được giữ gìn. It, the serene atmosphere of the boutique, was on the brink of breaking apart. 30 minutes later, a black Rolls-Royce Phantom gracefully came to a halt in front of the glass doors, its engine emitting a gentle hum that hushed the street around it. The valet stood still, his hands trembling with the key fob as the driver's door swung open. Blake Monroe stepped out, his black suit tailored to perfection, his broad shoulders and sharp jawline creating a presence that seemed to resonate deeply with those around him. At 42, he was an undeniable presence. Tresses of dark hair elegantly pulled back, emerald eyes capable of igniting warmth or casting a chill, and an essence of serene strength that compelled the world to yield. Blake held the position of CEO at Monroe Ventures, an e-commerce giant that fueled a significant portion of online retail across North America. his name frequently appearing in Forbes and at Davos panels. He moved through the world like a whisper, his presence barely visible, yet his impact resonated in every significant transaction. The boutique's doors gently parted as Blake entered, with Claire gracefully emerging from the Rolls-Royce behind him, her linen dress untouched, her grey eyes serene. The room was enveloped in a profound stillness, the sound of trays clattering fading away as gasps were held back in anticipation. Vanessa's smile faded, her counter becoming a fragile barrier. Ethan's polishing cloth fell from his grasp, his smile fading away. Blake averted his gaze, his voice barely above a whisper, each word cutting through the air like a sharp edge. "Is the person who disrespected my wife still employed here?" The question lingered in the air, heavy and foreboding. Clients stood still, their phones gently dropping from their hands. Diana Voss's bracelet softly chimed as her hand quivered with emotion. The pop star stepped back, her sequins losing their sparkle beneath the chandeliers. The boutique's owner, Mr. Giovanni De Luca, hurried down the stairs, his tailored vest slightly askew, his face drained of colour as he caught sight of Blake. "Ong Monroe, Anglap Bap, Kuido Nye Nyang. Sin Hei Hiu Rang Dalamutsu Hiu Lum." Blake's gaze turned sharply towards him, his green eyes filled with an icy intensity. He said, his voice filled with emotion, "You allowed your staff to accuse my wife of stealing. You allowed them to demean her in front of your clients." He turned to Vanessa, who recoiled, her elegant updo coming undone. "You expressed to her that she was not accepted, that she had no place here." Vanessa opened her mouth, yet silence enveloped her, her confidence fading beneath the weight of Blake's gaze. Claire stepped forward, her tote cradled in her arms, her voice gentle yet resolute. "I don't need them to know who I am," she said, her eyes locking with Mr. De Luca's. "I simply wanted to be treated with the same respect as every other customer." The room was enveloped in silence, her words hanging in the air, heavy and poignant. Blake signaled to his assistant, a young woman in a navy blazer named Lila, who stepped forward with a tablet in hand. "The necklace," Blake said, his voice heavy with emotion. "He and I." Lila's fingers danced across the keyboard, setting in motion a bank transfer of $12 million, the funds effortlessly clearing in mere seconds. Mr. De Luca struggled with the case, his hands trembling as he raised the pink diamond necklace. Blake accepted it with a sense of purpose, his movements thoughtful, and turned to Claire. He stepped behind her, tenderly placing the necklace around her neck, the diamonds shimmering in the light like distant stars. "Now she is free to make her own choices," Blake said, his voice soft yet powerful, each word carrying weight. The boutique stood still, an overwhelming hush enveloping the space, clients wide-eyed, staff caught in a moment of disbelief. Vanessa's face lost its vibrancy, her heels wavering beneath her. Ethan gazed downward, his hands quivering with emotion. Mr. De Luca, his voice trembling with emotion, turned to Vanessa. "You're fired," he said, his gaze flickering to Blake. "Gather your belongings and take your leave. Hi there." Vanessa's voice trembled, her eyes brimming with tears, yet no one stepped forward to offer assistance. The security guard, who had once been part of the system, quietly stepped aside, his radio now silent. The aftermath was swift and heart-wrenching, as a junior staffer, deeply disturbed by what had transpired, chose to share the boutique's security footage with a gossip site. The video, featuring Vanessa's sneer, Ethan's wave, and Diana's tissue toss, captured hearts and went viral, reaching 20 million views in just a few hours. TikTok surged with the linen lady, as users beautifully stitched the clip with heartfelt captions. They labelled her a thief, Doi Lai Kung Li Cha Claire. The footage captured Claire's serene grace, her composed departure, and Blake's arrival. Quan Kak Chik Vong Ko Lap Di Lap Lai Không Ngung. Instagram Reels echoed the sentiment, now she no longer needs to inquire. Everyone celebrates Claire's remarkable achievement with heartfelt joy. De la Lumiere's once untarnished reputation now bears the weight of disappointment, as its Yelp page overflows with one-star reviews, a testament to the disillusionment felt by many. Let's stand together and choose not to support this place. Tên của Vanessa trở thành biểu tượng cho sự tàn nhẫn. Her LinkedIn profile faced ridicule. Her modeling opportunities vanished as brands turned away. Ethan's job prospects disappeared, leaving behind only a bittersweet memory of his once confident presence in the Beverly Hills retail scene. Diana Voss's influencer career took a downturn, her post about the emerald bracelet overshadowed by comments such as, "You laughed at Claire." Her follower count fell dramatically, leaving her status unprotected. Mr. DeLuca offered a heartfelt apology, yet it was overshadowed by the overwhelming backlash from the internet. Reservations at De La Lumiere dwindled, its velvet cases remaining unoccupied as clients turned to competitors. Days after the footage leaked, Diana Voss and Lauren Tate encountered a profound moment of reflection in the public eye. Diana, in a moment of vulnerability, shared a heartfelt apology video expressing her regret for misjudging Claire. However, her attempt to make amends was met with overwhelming negativity, accumulating 500,000 dislikes and comments that echoed sentiments of betrayal and disappointment. Her endorsement deals disappeared, and her fur coat was sold off to settle debts. Lauren's tech startup faced a heartbreaking setback as it lost $20 million in funding when investors withdrew, citing her troubling behavior. To add to her struggles, her TikTok account was suspended for hate speech. A coalition of De La Lumiere's former clients, moved by Claire's grace, initiated a boycott, their heartfelt open letter, signed by 200 prominent figures, denouncing the boutique's elitism. The letter, published in Vogue, celebrated Claire as a symbol of grace, its widespread circulation solidifying her status as a cultural icon. At a Lumiere Fund event, a young woman approached Claire, her eyes glistening with tears as she shared how the boycott had inspired her to find the strength to leave a job that treated her unfairly. Claire embraced her, her linen dress glowing, her triumph a wave that transformed destinies. The viral footage not only brought shame to De La Lumiere, but it also set off a cascade of legal consequences. A class action lawsuit, supported by the Monroe Ventures legal team, was initiated against the boutique for discriminatory practices, highlighting Claire's treatment and the heartfelt testimonies from former employees regarding systemic bias. The suit named Vanessa, Ethan, and Mr. DeLuca, their reputations torn apart as court documents revealed the truth of their actions. Vanessa's fashion blog faced a heartbreaking downfall, her name shunned by luxury brands. Ethan's retail career came to a close, leaving his LinkedIn filled with hurtful comments from those who couldn't understand his journey. Mr. DeLuca confronted a staggering $10 million fine, while his beloved boutique chain saw significant investors slip away. The resolution of the lawsuit provided support for anti-discrimination training for 1,000 retail workers with oversight from Claire's Lumiere Fund for the program. Social media celebrated the verdict, with Diamond Justice becoming a trending topic as users shared their opinions, critiquing her dress, only to find themselves without jobs. Claire sat in her bungalow, her toad perched on the table, her heart filled with a profound sense of fulfillment as she absorbed the news of justice transforming an industry. The world celebrated her silent triumph, a victory rooted in grace rather than retribution. The boutique's Instagram experienced a loss of 100,000 followers, transforming its once enchanting aura of exclusivity into a poignant reminder of fleeting moments. Nhưng câu chuyện không chỉ dừng lại ở chiếc vòng cổ. A week later, Claire stood at a press conference in a simple navy dress, the pink diamond necklace missing, her tote resting on a chair nearby. With unwavering resolve, she stood before the throng of reporters, her grey eyes shining with determination, and revealed the establishment of the Lumiere Fund, a non-profit endowed with $12 million, the complete worth of the necklace. She spoke with a steady voice, emphasizing that this fund will stand by women who encounter discrimination in prestigious workplaces, particularly those who are evaluated based on their looks or origins. The audience burst into heartfelt applause, their cameras capturing the moment. Không ai nên cảm thấy mình kém cỏi, cô ấy nói, không phải vì trang phục, túi xách hay những ước mơ của họ. The announcement captured hearts worldwide, with Lumiere Fund shining brightly, the Linen Lady, each share a tribute to Claire's inspiring vision. The fund's impact was profound. In just a few months, It empowered 500 women with leadership skills, provided legal assistance for workplace harassment cases, and collaborated with universities to investigate bias in luxury retail. Claire dedicated herself to every detail, her notebook brimming with heartfelt ideas for outreach, her tote a steadfast companion at board meetings. Blake stood by her side in silence, his Rolls-Royce waiting patiently outside. Nhưng chính trái tim của Claire đã thúc đẩy sứ mệnh này.
Chiếc vòng cổ hiện đang được trưng bày tại một bảo tàng đã trở thành biểu tượng không phải của sự giàu có mà của sức mạnh vượt qua khó khăn. Women from all corners of the nation reached out to Claire, pouring their hearts out in letters, recounting experiences of being overlooked, ridiculed, or undervalued. She read each one, her grey eyes shining with a deep sense of meaning. De la Lumière was forever changed.
Half a year later, it closed its Rodeo Drive location, the chandeliers dimmed, and the cases stood empty. The absence of the pink diamond felt like a deep ache, its legacy forever intertwined with Claire's remarkable victory. Ông DeLuca đã nghỉ hưu, tên tuổi của ông dần phai nhạt, trong khi Vanessa và Ethan vất vả tìm kiếm những công việc có thu nhập thấp. Their elitism, a remnant of the past. Diana Voss' influence faded, her empire collapsed, her fur coat finding a new owner at auction. The world witnessed Claire's ascent, her linen dress symbolizing grace and resilience. She didn't have to revel in her victory. She had created something more beautiful, not fueled by resentment, but by elegance. Claire and Blake celebrated their anniversary at home, their modest Bel Air bungalow filled with warmth and joy. She donned her linen dress, while he chose his black suit, sans tie. They twirled in the garden, the city lights shimmering beneath them, the necklace a cherished memory that lingered in their hearts. Their wealth was immense, yet their love surpassed it, deeply anchored in countless years of intertwined dreams. Claire's tote rested on the table, cradling a new photo of her at the Lumière Fund's launch, her smile shining brightly. The world recognized her not merely as the spouse of a billionaire, but as a powerful figure who transformed shame into a beacon of hope. Claire Monroe found no value in diamonds. She was the beacon of hope. If this story touched your heart, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.